There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio1delacruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Jobs180.com's Marketing Meal Live with San Pablo Calches. And today we will be joined by speakers from Jobs180.com, TTEC, VXI, and Makati Medical Center. And before we start, may we invite everyone for the opening prayer followed by singing of the national anthem.
Lead me, Lord, lead me by the hand. by me across the lonely roads that I may face. Take my arms and let your hand show me the way. Show the way to live inside your heart all my days, all my life. You are my light, you're the lamp upon my feet. All the time, my Lord, I need you there. You are my light, I cannot live alone. Let me stay by your guiding love all through my life. Lead me, Lord. Lead me, Lord. Even though at times I'd rather go alone my way, help me take the right direction. Take your road. Lead me, Lord, and never leave my side. All my days, all my life. You are my light, you're the lamp upon my feet. All the time, my Lord, I need you there. You are my light, I cannot live alone. Let me stay by your guiding love all through my life. You are my light, you're the lamp upon my feet. All the time, my Lord, I need you there. I cannot live alone. Let me stay by your guiding love all through my life, all through my days. So lead me, oh Lord. Lead me.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Sa langit ko pagaw, ay hinatang tulad
Hello. Good morning once again to all our viewers and welcome everyone. My name is Maria and I will be your host for today. Ready na ba kayo? Ready na ba kayo para matuto at makinig? If you guys are ready, pasan naman dyan ang inyong heart reactions sa ating comment section. And while you are sending your heart reaction, everyone, we are live again via Jobs 180 Facebook and Jobs 180 YouTube. Thank you so much sa inyong heart reaction. And since you guys are ready, we hope that everyone is excited as well to learn new things today. All right, to officially start our session, may we invite Mr. Bienvenido R. Lugo Jr., the officer in charge from OSA, to give us the opening remarks.
I would like to greet you with a pleasant day from San Pablo Colleges. It is our pleasure and a rare opportunity for our students to be here and participate in this virtual-wide event sponsored by Jobs180.com. This pre-job webinar for students will help them to become more confident in their future applications to land their dream jobs. Teaching them how to make an impressive but not an arrogant resume, proper dressing, to look smart, and giving tips on how to answer virtual job interviews will give our future professionals an edge for future success in their professional lives. I will take this opportunity also to thank Jobs180.com for organizing this webinar for our students. Schools are developing knowledge and skills, but Jobs180.com also equip these young professionals to be ready and confident in their professions in the future. This is Serbian Lugo from the Office of Student Affairs of San Pablo Colleges. Again, thank you very much and have a wonderful and fruitful day to all.
Thank you so much, Serbian, for gracing our event, okay? And as usual for our audience today, please comment your name, your year, and your course. And if you have questions later on, please type it to the comment section so we can answer them after the talk. Q&A will happen after each speaker's presentation. And don't forget to tag and share this to your friends too. So kung wala pa sila, tawagin niyo na. Sayang naman kung ma-miss nila tong event natin, okay? And the evaluation and attendance will be released at the end of the session. Same thing with your digital certificates. It will be released after the session. All right. So if you guys are ready, here is our schedule for today. Number one, jobs180.com. Job applications using resume link from jobs180.com. Answering interview questions from TTEC. Maximizing the best of both worlds. Challenges and expectations of working in a hybrid setup from VXI, and top skills employers look for when hiring from Makati Medical Center. All right. Shout out to everyone and nandito na again for those students who were just joined in. Please comment your name, your year, your course, and as we go along, type in your questions so we can read it later. All right? Huwag kayong mahiya because this is your chance to ask before you face the real adulting thing or the world of work. All right, so let me introduce to you now our first guest speaker with the topic job applications using resume link. He has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. As a trusted resource speaker, he has done over 1,000 plus career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. The managing director from Jobs180.com, Mr. Kim Chua. Sir Kim, the floor is yours. Take it away, and I'll be right back after 20 minutes.
everyone. Good day to all of you. My name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa, baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. And I'm here to share to you about the most secure tool for job application. This is how you can market yourself more effectively and the different ways to do that. Okay, so let me start. Now, when you apply, you probably have a checklist if you're using the right tool. So just go along with me if you have the right, if you have the same checklist that I have. So ito yung mga things na like kong tinatandaan, no? Will my tool or will the thing that I'll be using help me to stand out? That's the first item that is very important for me. Kailangan mag-stand out ako kasi dami-dami kong kasabayan kalaban sa pag-apply. Another thing in my checklist is that, do I have more than one file? Because oftentimes I have a lot of files. May academic records, may mga government IDs, ang dami mga kailangan hingiin ng mga companies. So I'd like to put them all in one file. And this tool helps me to do that. Okay? Another thing that this tool can do is that it allows me to make the process more efficient. Mas napapabilis yung pag-apply. No? Hindi na napapatagal yung pabalik-balik. So, mas mabilis din syempre tayo maka-move forward. Diba? And another thing that this tool can do is that wala tong bayad. Mukha lang akong salesman pero libre po ito. Okay? So this tool is absolutely for free. The most important in my checklist is that this tool, okay, makes my information secured. And I think this is the most important question. Do you want your information to be secured? I hope your answer is yes. Okay? And so with that, let me show you ano tong tool na ito. This tool is called Resume Link. Resume Link, by definition, is the most secured tool for job application. Okay? This is a personalized URL. It is a link that anyone can open online anytime, provided that they know the link. So let me use an example. If you are John Santos, just in case lang, your name is John Santos, your resume link would look something like johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. So how do you make one? Okay, how do you make one? Now, the first step is for you to register. This is absolutely for free. Wala itong bayad. Okay? So what do? You go to www.jobs180.com and that is where you now register. Okay? As you register, you just simply fill out the information. These are the basic information. You have the account details, you have your personal information, you have your education background, and just in case you have your work experience, whether it's OJT or it's part-time job or whatever yung work experience na yan, then you proceed to that work experience page. Pero pag wala, hanggang dyan na lang tayo sa my education information. Okay? After doing so, you now start to create your resume link. So ano ba ang basihan ng resume link? Kadalasan, ang resume link natin, we base it on our name. We base it on our unique name. Okay, so as an example, if you're John Santos, then you say johnsantos.jobs180.com. Now, what about during scenarios where you create your resume link tapos may nauna sa inyo? May ibang John Santos, may kapangalan ka, no, nauna sa inyo. Ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon na red na box. Sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Na okay malungkot pag taken na. Okay lang. Maging creative lang kayo ng konti. Pwede mo balik na rin. Pwede mo sabihin Santos John. Okay, you can also say Santos J. O kaya J Santos. O kaya JS. Di ba? Or SJ. Depende sa link na gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapareho kahit kayo may kapangalan. Now, another thing I'd like to emphasize here, wag po kayong OA. Pag gumawa kayo ng resume link, huwag mo gagawin tipong nakalagay Cutie Pie, Lover Boy, Barbie doll, di ba? Because it doesn't sound professional. Imagine going to a company and the HR will ask you, do you have a resume? Tapos sasabihin mo sa kanya, meron po, ang resume ko ay eljablo.jobs180.com. Di ba? Baka matakot yung HR sa inyo. So I don't recommend that you do something like that. Just stick to your name. Whatever your name is, it will sound professional. Okay? Now, in creating a resume link, you have to use a valid email. Emails like Yahoo, Gmail, Rocketmail, any email, basta nabubuksan nyo, wag na wag ka lang gagamit ng facebook.com na email. Okay? Do not use something like, example lang patrick@facebook.com na email. Do not use patricia@facebook.com na email. Okay? In short, do not use @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com, you will no longer be able to receive notifications being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Okay? So use something that you can open. Why is it important for you to open your email? Because you have to verify your account. Okay? Remember, pag nag-verify, yan ang ebidensya na ikaw nag-register talaga. Yan ang proof. Diba? And at the same time, if you verify your account, then you'll be receiving notifications from the companies as well as Jobs180. If you do not verify your account, hindi nyo na po marireceive yung mga notification ng mga companies. So, sayang naman. Diba? Might as well verify your account first. Okay? Now, you're done with the first step. After you verify. So, ano na ang second step? Ang second step is the most logical of all the steps. You have to complete all the information. Very logical. Sino sa inyo mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, bungi-bungi detalye? Sino sa inyo magbibigay ng resume sa mga HR tapos kulang-kulang details nyo? I don't think you'll do that because you're just wasting your time. Instead, kumpletuhin yung information nyo bago kayo mag-submit dun sa mga companies. Okay? So, step 2, complete the information. And how do you do that? Punta kayo ulit dun sa website, www.jobs180.com, and this time, you don't need to register again kasi may account ka na eh. What you need to do is you have to log in. Okay? Now, as you log in, you start to put your registered email or your resume link and then your password na ikaw lang may alam. Okay? Ganun lang siya kasimple. Now, once you're inside your account, you start to fill in the blanks. Ganun lang kasimple. Fill in the blanks. So, the things that you see here, yung mga contents, napakasimple lang. Yung mga personal details nyo, lagay mo dyan. Diba? All the information na sa tingin nyo relevant, you put it there. Now, I have some emphasis lang on items na madalas nami-miss out ito ng mga aplikante. Ano yung mga yon? Sa contact information, you have to put here all the possible ways na pwede kang makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media handles nyo. Ba't ko nasabi yan? Because in reality is, pag tinatawagan kayo ng mga HR, madalas hindi naman ina-answer eh. Lalo na pag hindi nyo kilala, pag nag-ring yung phone nyo, hala, sino kaya ito? Di ba, hindi mo kilala. Ano gagawin? Hahayaan mo na lang. Di ba? Antayin mo kung may mag-message sa inyo. Eh, paano kung yung HR hindi naman hindi masipag mag-message? Masipag lang siya magtawag. That's why I recommend you put here all the possible means na pwede kang makontak. Kagaya ng social media nyo. Put your Facebook there, yung mga messenger nyo, mga Twitter nyo, iba pang mga paraan, social media handles para mabilis kayo ma-reach out. Diba? Message na lang. Are you available Thursday, 10 a.m., so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So lahat ng paraan, lagay mo dyan. What else do you put here? You also put here yung inyong mga work options. Sa work options naman, you just choose lang, parang yes or no lang yan, parang switch, no? Kung ano yung mga options na gusto ninyo. No, willing to work night shift, willing to relocate, looking for OJT, you can also put it here. Okay? And then in terms of education, obvious naman, yung alma mater nyo, lagay nyo dito. Diba? Yung mga pampakapal ng resume, sa seminars attended, kahit magkopyahan pa kayo ng mga classmates mo, okay lang. Basta lang make sure, alam nyo na pag-usapan doon sa seminar na yon. Pagdating sa certification, ganun din yan. Walang limit sa space yan. Achievements, recommend ko dito is you don't only put yung mga achievement nyo inside the school. Okay? Kasi hindi naman lahat tayo academically inclined. Some of us are not very active sa school, pero active tayo sa mga social-civic organization. Diba? So, even if it's outside of the school, you can also put it there. As long as you think it is an achievement, you put it there. Okay? Now, in terms of skills and languages, isa-isahin ko lang yan ha. Sa skills, do not limit your skills dyan lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat education ng course mo, ang ibig sabihin, ang skills na alam mo lang ay magturo. Hindi porkat accounting ang course mo, ang alam mo lang gawin or ang skills mo ay mag-debit, credit at mag-balance sheet. Diba? So, marami kang alam na iba pa mga skills na kahit walang connect sa course, you can also put it here. Sample, photography, diba? Videography, diba? And all the other things, calligraphy, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? When it comes to languages, I'm sure alam nyo, 2 lengguwahe na. At the minimum, you know English and you know Filipino. If you know local dialect, to be specific, lagay mo Tagalog, Chabacano, Bisaya, Kapampangan, 'di ba? Ilonggo, wala naman limit sa space eh. 'Di ba? If you know foreign languages, put it there. Chinese, Japanese, French, Vietnamese, kung ano man 'yan, ilagay nyo. Because what you're doing is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to the prospective company. Now, when it comes to references, sigurado naman ako yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang tanong lang dyan, kayo ba kilala nila? Kasi madalas pag tinatawagan namin yung mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. Yung pinakamalupit dyan, hindi talaga kayo kilala. Okay, so please advise yung mga references nyo na ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, I'd like to highlight yung mga things that you don't find in a traditional resume. Ano yung mga yan? Diba? Ito yung mga yun. Let me start with the portfolio section. The portfolio section is where you now upload evidence of your skills. And I think with this day and age, dito pumapasok yung efficiency ng ating application sa mga companies. Because oftentimes, when we apply to companies, marami mga hinihingi, mga pre-employment requirements. They will ask for mga documents, mga proof that is showing na yun talaga yung mga skills nyo. So, kung ano man meron yung mga documents, you can now take a picture, you can scan them, and you can upload it here. Example, government IDs. Diba? Meron ka mga transcripts, academic records. Diba? You can put that there. Okay? Kung meron mga medical clearance na kailangan, ganun din. Hindi na kailangan magpabalik-balik sa company. Oh, ayos ba? Oh, eto pa. Diba? But wait, there's more. Ito na yun. Etong isa pang gusto ko i-recommend sa inyo, yung tinatawag natin selfie video. Nowadays, I think, it is not very difficult to create a selfie video. Diba? Ito may TikTok nga kayo eh. Diba? Alam mo naman paano gumawa ng selfie video. So I don't need to teach you how to create a selfie video. What I need to share to you na lang is yung anong kailangan sabihin pagka gumawa ka ng selfie video. Okay, this time, what I recommend is you say something interesting about yourself. Okay? So, you pretend that you're being interviewed by the HR. Di ba? Ano yung matatanong sa atin? Why should we hire you? Di ba? Tell me something about yourself. Why should we consider you among all the other applicants? O, di ba? Ang kagandahan ngayon is you create that video for about 1 minute or less. Hindi kailangan sobrang haba, no? Mga 1 minute lang or less. Pero ang maganda rito is na-evaluate na nung HR yung inyong communication skills. If you can speak in English, then I recommend you speak in straight English. But if you cannot, it's okay as long as you're able to show your personality. You can also showcase here yung mga hard skills nyo. Ano yung mga hard skills? Kagaya ng mga video na panood ko dati, pinakita nila how to use a soldering iron, how to properly handle a welding machine, diba? How to fold table napkins. O, ganun, diba? So, depende ko ano yung mga skills na alam mo at depende ko ano yung nasa field mo rin, diba? Na napag-aralan, diba? So, gusto mo magpakita ka paano mag-balance sheet, pwede rin. O, diba? Again, it really depends on what you wanted to show dun sa HR. Ang point is, you don't need to travel back and forth para lang ipakita on the spot dun sa HR yung inyong hard skills. And most importantly, hindi na kailangan magkaroon ng maraming aberya, maraming storbo. Diba? Sometimes when we try to contact you for the phone interview, maingay yung background, hindi marinig, diba? Mahina signal, maingay, ano nangyari, nasa biyahe, diba? Or sometimes hindi magtugma yung schedule. At least with that selfie video, it makes the process now more efficient. Now, another good thing pa with the resume link is that you also upload here your profile picture. When it comes to profile picture, you don't need to go to the studio para magpa-picture. Huwag ka na gumastos. Ang importante lang dyan, tumingin ka sa camera, okay, with plain background, at of course, magbihis ka naman ng maayos, diba? And then, you're good to go. Huwag mo gagawin yung mga nasa right side ng screen niyo. Those samples that I'm showing you, it doesn't look professional. Imagine, di ba, yung mga selfie, mga nilagay ng avatar, yan, huwag nyo gawin yan. Okay? Huwag nyo gawin yan. It doesn't look nice, doesn't look professional. Okay? Now, another good thing pa with the resume link is that meron tayong tinatawag na cover photo. Ayan, pasintabi sa matatamaan. May iba sa inyo nakikinig ngayon, hindi naman kayo gifted with writing skills. Some of us are having a difficult time expressing our thoughts and feelings into words. So ano pwede mo gawin? You can now use those pictures to represent your personality or to showcase yung inyong skills. Example, look at the one on the left, yung nasa baba. Ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, ophthalmologist, optometrist, or eye expert. Yung nasa kanan, yung nasa taas, ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, para siyang admin or clerical work. Or maybe makalat kasi tingnan mo yung lamesa ang kalat-kalat. O, di ba? Again, it depends on the interpretation of the person looking at it. This is an example of someone into HR or maybe into psychology. And this one is an example, it's a very good example, by the way, of someone who wanted to say that there is no shortcut to success. Hindi po yan miyembro na Akit Bahay Gang. Okay? Ang gusto niya sabihin, you will be able to reach yung goal mo by taking one step at a time. Oh, di ba? You get what I'm saying now. So I'm showing you good examples para you can draw inspiration from. And I will also show you not so good examples. Ito yung wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Maglagay ka ng picture mo dyan. Lalaki man, babae in between, okay lang. Ilagay mo dyan. Member man tayo ng LGBTQ+, okay lang. You put it there. At least alam ng HR who to expect. A lot of times, yung mga pangalan kasi very interchangeable nowadays. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako, di ba? Pag iba nababasa ko mga resume, ano nakalagay sa resume nila? Chris, nakalagay George, Alex, Sam, Nick, di ba? Joey. I would assume lalaki. Yun pala, babae. O, di ba? So that's why you better make sure you put your picture there. And wag naman pugot yung ulo nyo pag nilagay ng picture. Dapat kumpleto. Okay? Never leave this blank because if you leave this blank, it will not catch the HR's attention. Trust me. Kung ikaw ang HR, wala ka namang ibang makita dyan, malamang mangyayari dito, next applicant na. Okay? And then if you want to catch the HR's attention, do not create something like this. This is just my opinion. I don't think this looks professional kasi ang dating parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, no? Parang chill-chill, walang pakialam sa buhay. Again, that is just my interpretation. Okay? So I showed you the good and not so good examples para you'll be guided. Now, you can just play along later on kung anong sa tingin nyo mas bagay sa inyong background or sa inyong sa gusto niyo ipakita sa personality niyo. Okay? Now, let's examine a very good example. Look at this person, itong eye expert. Bakit maganda itong example ng kanyang resume link? Because all the information you're seeing here, kompleto na. 'Di ba? Hindi ka na magpabalik-balik eh. Kung ikaw yung HR, everything that you need to ask or you want to know about the applicant, you already find it here. If you're the applicant, you might as well put everything there para wag mo na antayin pa yung time na hihingiin pa sa ng HR yung mga documents yan. Baka hindi na mangyari yun. Baka may ibang aplikante na mas assertive, nilagay lahat ng mga information na i-process na siya kaagad. Diba? Now, at this point, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, Sir, okay nga tong resume link. Kaso lang, baka naman yung information ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman nakalantad na sa buong internet. Ang sagot ay, hindi. Kaya nga tinawag na the most secure tool for your job application. Diba? Bakit? Because you control your privacy settings. Ikaw mismo as an account user or as a resume link owner, ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo. And how will that happen? When you log into your dashboard, as you can see in my screen, when you log into your dashboard, you will find the resume link settings. Pagpunta mo sa settings, mapuntahan mo yung privacy settings at doon ka mamili ngayon ng information you want to show or hide in public. So let me use an example. If you don't want to show your birthday, what do? You turn it off. You don't want to show your references, you turn it off. You don't want to show your address, what do? Turn it off. Diba? So yung mga information na in-off mo, hindi lalabas sa public. Now, if ever lang you decide to change your mind, ang maganda dito sa resume link, updated yan, real time. As in real time. So 5 minutes later, you want to show your birthday, turn it on. What happens? Lahat ng mayroong alam ng resume link mo, alam na niya yung birthday mo. Diba? If 2 days later, you want to show your address, you turn it on, you save your profile, lahat ng may alam ng resume link mo, alam na rin yung inyong address. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So, depende na sa inyo kung ano gusto mo yung on or off. If you want to turn off everything, then okay lang, you can just turn off the button. Enable public resume link, off. Wala nang lalabas sa public, kahit na anong information. Okay? So, yan ang re-remind ko sa inyo. This, the second step is for you to complete the information, and in doing so, please make sure that your profile is interesting, diba? Yung information mo kompleto at updated ang details nyo para mabilis kayo makontak ng mga HR. Now, we go to the last step. Pangatlo na, last step na to. The last step is for you to submit. Now, how will you submit your resume link to those companies? You might be thinking you want to explore opportunities outside of the Philippines. Maybe you want to join some job fairs later on. You want to apply online. You want to, marami, walk-ins, diba? Depende kung ano, kasi bumabalik na yung face-to-face ngayon. So, lahat ng mga ipapakita ko sa inyo, lahat ito, practical application. Lahat yan, makaka-relate kayo. Ano yung first one? The first one is you go online. Of course. Diba? Yan ang fastest way. You just connect via your phone, via kung ano man gadget mo, go to jobs.tt.com, search for companies. And by the way, speaking of search, you can only search for company, tatlo lang pwede mo i-search ha. Search for company name, position title, and location. Doon sa search bar, hindi mo pwede ma-search ang resume link. So example lang, ikaw si John Santos, okay, o kaya ikaw si, ako na lang, Kim, halimbawa lang, subukan mo pumunta sa jobs.tt.com, doon sa search bar, type mo doon Kim. Tingnan mo kung may lumabas. Malamang sa malamang, walang lalabas. Unless may company name, position title, or location na may word na Kim. Other than that, walang lalabas dyan. Kasi hindi siya searchable. So, the only time a company would be able to know your information is if and when you give your exact resume link to that company. So, ikaw may control. Ayos? So, tuloy natin. Okay, tuloy natin. So, if you're going to search for companies, what do? Just go to the website of jobs.tt.com, search for companies. Kung may lumabas, edi meron. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Diba? Ganun lang yan. Huwag natin pilitin magkaroon ng something kung wala talaga. Diba? Okay, so ano gagawin? Tingnan mo yung mga companies. Kung meron kang type, edi gawin nyo, check nyo yung opportunities. After that, you now submit your information to that company. Okay, and when you submit your information to the company, it will ask for your profile, for your resume link and password. So ikaw lang magbibigay ng consent dun sa company. Okay? Now another option is for you to send resumes via email. Now there's nothing wrong in sending resumes through email. Ang tanong dito is, how are you sending your resumes through email? Do you do it like this? Do you say, "Dear HR manager, I'd like to apply for the following position. This is my resume." Tapos mag-attach ka ng Word file, PDF file, or whatever file you have. If you're doing those attachments pa, ang tawag dyan, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Hindi ko sinabing mali. Ang sabi ko lang, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Bakit? Hindi mo kailangan mag-attach anything anymore. If you're going to write an email and send your resume, just simply type your resume link there. "Dear HR manager, I would like to apply for the following position. This is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, jobs.tt.com. Send. Tapos na. Ganun lang kabilis. Diba? Whatever changes you need to do, you put it inside your resume link. You don't have to keep on sending another attachment. Paano kung imagine mo na lang, nag-attach ka ng Word file. Diba? Ng PDF file. Tapos nagpalit ka ng address, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Email mo na may HR. "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated resume." Ganun ba? Paano kung 2 months later, lumipat ka ng bahay, iba na address mo, send ka ulit ng bagong resume? "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated, most recent resume." I don't think you do that. Kasi kung ganun ang ginagawa mo, sayang sa oras siya, nakakapagod sa part mo, lalong-lalo naman sa part ng HR, mas nakakapagod to keep track kung saan dyan yung pinaka-updated na attachment or pinaka-updated na resume ng aplikante. And this time around, if you have your resume link, all you need to do is just update your resume link at lahat na may alam ng resume link mo, makikita nila yung pinaka real-time update ng profile or information. Ayos ba? Ayos ba? Sige, another one. For those who wanted to use a hard copy, gusto mo talaga may hard copy ka when you apply to those companies, you want to give something, then this is also possible. What do? You go to your dashboard inside your job seeker account, then you can print your resume link. Mamili ka lang, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, the system will try to compress everything into 1 page. O, di ba? Maginhawa sa buhay. So, kung gusto mo talaga mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, hindi mo na kailangan mag-prepare ng maraming mga pages. Minsan, di ba, yung mga aplikante, mga 2-3 pages ang isang set ng resume. Palibasa, yung font size 45. Kaya umaabot ng 2-3 pages. O, di ba? Pero this time, the system will try to compress everything na into 1 page. Just in case you really want to have a hard copy. O, di ba? Tipid. Okay? Another thing pa for me to encourage you to do is you use resume link cards. Resume link cards. Ano tong resume link card? Kung sa mga nagtatrabaho na, ang tawag namin business card. Sa mga nag-a-apply, tawag dyan, resume link card. So in one piece of paper, whether short bond or long bond paper, you can now design it your own way. You can design it, depende kung ano ang gusto mo, pagiging creativity mo. Ikaw bahala. You can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa normal business cards natin. Diba? So, depende. So, paper, you can make 10, 20 sets of cards na. And so, after you have it printed out, pwede ka na ngayon maggupit-gupit. Gupit-gupit na lang. Diba? 10 or 20. Bawat kumpanya, you can now start to give that as a hard copy. Hard copy pa rin naman yan eh. But this time, why am I encouraging you to use resume link cards instead of the traditional long bond or short bond paper? Bakit? Una-una, tipid. Diba? Because of course, right now, eto, tipid. Kasi if you're going to apply to 20 companies, you don't need to print 20 sets of long bond papers. You just need to print 1 long bond paper and cut 20 small pieces of resume link cards. O, diba? That's for the cost side. Tipid na. Pangalawa, at mas importante, security of information. Diba? You want to have peace of mind. Paano ko nasabi yan? Kapag ikaw yung nagbigay sa isang kumpanya ng long bond paper or short bond paper, example lang, no? It's a traditional resume. And for some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Okay? Nilipad ng hangin. Hindi mo kasalanan ng hangin eh. Diba? May nakapulot na stranger. All your information, alam na nung stranger. Tama? And you cannot deny it because you know what I'm saying is true. Diba? Hindi mo kilala pero alam niya yung details mo. Now, using your resume link card, same scenario. Nagbigay ka ng resume link card sa company, nilipad ng hangin ngayon. May na stranger na nakapulot, okay lang. Bakit? Kampante ka. Kasi yung resume link, ikaw may control ng privacy settings mo. That's why, in your resume link card, what I recommend, you just simply put your name and your resume link. Dalawa lang. That's it. If you want to put your mobile number, it's okay. It's up to you. You can put it there. Diba? Pero ang point ko is, resume link, pwede na siya makita ng mga HR or mga companies na bibigyan mo. Diba? So you have peace of mind now. Okay? So there's a lot of advantages using resume links. In fact, dun pa lang sa privacy portion, panalong-panalo ka na. Ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo real time. Pagdating sa speed of hire, it becomes faster and more efficient because whatever you want to show the HR, you just attach it there. Whatever the HR needs from you, they just ask from you. Diba? You take a picture, you scan them, upload it there, and later on, pag okay na, you now turn off yung privacy settings mo. Diba? Or you can remove them in the attachments. Diba? Cost efficient, definitely wala tong gastos, tipid. Diba? If you're thinking, ay sir, paano po yung internet, kailangan ng pang-load? Pwede ka maging resourceful. Connect lang tayo sa mga libreng wifi. O, diba? And then, pagdating sa flexibility, if you really want to have it printed out, yung inyong resume, you also have the option to print it out. That's like how I showed it to you, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, it's really up to you. Pero ang point ko is, resume link na lahat yan. Okay? And you can use this to any platform, whatever platform you want to share it to. You want to share it sa mga messenger nyo, you want to share it sa email, sa Viber, sa text, diba? Gusto mo, kaya ko bahala. Diba? Gusto mo, sulat mo sa papel, tapos gawa ka ng airplane, palipad mo, diba? May nakakuha, alam niya yung resume link mo. Ikaw bahala. Okay? Ikaw may control kung sino ang gusto mo bigyan. Okay? You don't have to use your USBs anymore. You don't have to save it sa hard drive. Baka mawala pa yung USB nyo. Delikado. Diba? Wag na. Baka kung ano pa makita ng mga nakakapulot ng mga USB na yan. Okay? So you don't need to worry about compatibility as well because this is compatible to any platform. If you're using Android, you're using Safari, kung ano magamit mo, pwede yan sa kahit anumang version. Okay? And so, just to promote lang, if you want to be part of our team, we're also hiring. Mismo sa jobs180.com, we're hiring for several opportunities, several vacancies yan. Check out na lang yung aming jobs180.com/jobs180 na page. Okay? And by the grace of God, shout out lang ako, right now we have more than 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, from north all the way to the south of the Philippines. Thank you, Lord. O, diba? Ang kinalat namin, hindi lang virus. Biro lang. Kinalat namin resume link. Yan ang kinalat natin. So, a lot of schools now, including your alma mater, are now using the resume link. So, I hope it doesn't stop here. No? You become a blessing to others as well. If you have friends, you have yung mga relatives mo na sa tingin mo kailangan nitong tool na ito, you can share it to them. Wala namang bayad eh. Libre naman yan. Okay? And so, as we close this portion, I'd like to discuss some of the frequently asked questions. Baka ito yung mga agam nyo or ito yung mga questions na gusto nyo tanungin. Sagutin ko na muna. Okay? Unang tanong, can I give my resume links to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. Basta alam nila eksaktong link mo at ikaw may control, sino bibigyan mo nun? Ikaw lang ang magbibigay. Diba? So, ikaw lang may alam sino binigyan mo. Okay? Now, second question, is it the same as other job platform kagaya ng JobStreet, LinkedIn, or any other job site? The answer is no. May dalawang pagkakaiba. And let me use an example here. Let me do a shout out to JobStreet, no? Because I think you guys know what JobStreet is. So, shout out lang to them sa mga nasa JobStreet. If you're using JobStreet na resume, you can only apply to companies who are using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. Pero pag gamit mo yung resume link mo, pwede mo yung gamitin kahit na saan, kahit na kanino, kahit na anong platform. Diba? Basta alam ng HR yung eksaktong link mo at ikaw magbibigay nun. That's the first difference. Second difference, if you have already submitted your JobStreet resume to an HR, you cannot change anything anymore. Well, you can on your end, but it will not be reflected on the HR. Hindi siya magiging real-time update. Comparing it to resume link ni Jobs180, you can update it real-time. 2 days later, 5 minutes later, 6 weeks later, ikaw bahala, anytime nag-update ka ng information, lahat na in-update mo, dagdag bawas, will be reflected real-time across all na may alam ng resume link mo. Okay? So those are the two major differences. Now, pagdating sa pangatlong question, yan ang pinaka-simpleng tanong. Can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na job application platform. Okay? So, use your resume link. Number 4 question, I think, is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? The answer is every time. Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Okay? Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Lalong-lalo na yung contact details mo. Kasi imagine, binago mo lahat. Binago mo yung work experience mo, nagkaroon ka ng awards, nagkaroon ng achievement, hindi ka naman makontakt ng HR. Wala rin, di ba? Sayang din. That's why you have to update yung contact details nyo. Okay? And the last question is just a trivia. Trivia lang, palaisipan. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around 180 degrees. And in case you're wondering, no, you wanted to raise a concern, bakit hindi po 360? Kasi pag 360 degrees, you only go back to where you started. Ikot ka lang na ikot, wala kang pupuntahan. 'Di ba? Bumabalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Oh, ha? O, di ba? Char lang yan. Okay? So, anyways, again, kung meron pa kayo ibang questions, just in case you have questions, okay, you may send those questions here through our website, www.jobs180.com. You can also email us or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, pati na rin sa TikTok. Okay? So, check us out on all our social media platform. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa. Okay? Isang magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Kim. That was a helpful presentation para sa ating mga graduating students. So guys, sa mga hindi pa nakapag-create ng kanilang resume link, please start creating or start creating your resume link na malaking tulong yan sa stepping stone para magkaroon kayo ng work. Alrighty. So, if you have question with Sir Kim and the topic resume link, you may post it now sa ating comment section. Alright, Sir Kim, here is the question po, offline question. Okay lang po ba maglagay ng work experience kahit hindi related sa position na ina-applyan?
Yes, definitely. Yung work experience, hindi naman siya limited lang doon sa pinapasokan yung trabaho. Diba? So, any work related, you can put it there. Kahit na-mention ko kanina, kahit nag-summer job ka, kung may part-time, no, rumakit-rakit ka, nag-sideline, you can all put it there. Basta totoong work experience, huwag kayong mag-iimbento. Kasi pag nag-imbento kayo, pwede kayo mabuking. Diba? So, ayaw nyo mangyari yun. Diba? Maging reason pa yun for, for, ano nyo, for not being considered sa pag-apply nyo doon sa company. Okay? So,
Thank
I
you
hope
so
na-answer
much,
ko yung
Sir.
question. Yeah.
Yes. Yes po, Sir Kim. And pwede nyo rin i-upload yung certificate of employment nyo sa portfolio section para to prove na talagang nag-work kayo or as a working student. Ganun nga.
Yep.
Yan.
Mm.
Alright, next question. Under sa portfolio section, sir, is there any restrictions or limitations sa pag-upload ng documents like medical results? Ganyan po.
Any restriction, it, we give the freedom, we give the applicant or the user, the resume link user, the owner, the freedom to do what they want to do, to upload whatever they want to upload. So if they're comfortable putting their medical records there, their medical clearances, example, academic files, government IDs, or anything no na gusto nila ilagay, wala naman problem. It's really up to them. Now, when they're thinking about information or sensitive information kasi may personal details yan. Example, you put your driver's license. Syempre, nakalagay dyan yung address nyo. Di ba? Example, ang pwede naman nila gawin is that they can submit that first kapag hinihingi ng totoong company, they can attach it, and then they can just remove it afterwards, after they're being processed na. Whether pasado or bagsak dun sa application, pwede naman nila yon tanggalin na lang later on. Kasi real time naman yung update eh. And that's the beauty of this tool. Pwede sila magdagdag bawas kahit kailan nila gusto. Tapos maganda pa, sila may control. Unlike if I compare it lang, if I compare to say a traditional type of format, if I attach or if I send my driver's license, example lang, or if I send a copy of whatever, medical records ko sa email, there's nothing I can do anymore with that file. Kasi pag nasubmit ko yan doon sa company, nandun na yan eh. Di ba? Hindi ko naman pwede pasukin yung email server nung HR, di ba? Nung kumpanya para tanggalin ko. Di ba? Ito, at least, I have control. I have full control. So, whatever I put in, I can decide no anytime to remove or delete or edit or basically do anything, no? Kung ano gusto ko gawin dun sa account ko. Yan. So, yan ang kagandahan. Yan ang flexibility ng resume link.
Yes, thank you so much, Sir Kim. And the last question, since mahiya ng ating mga audience ngayon, wala silang question dito sa comments. Alright, last question po. Do we still have access to our resume link kahit na years na siyang hindi nagagamit or na-update since nagkaroon na sila ng work? Ganun po.
Yes, the resume link is perpetual. In short, for life. Diba? Kung sabi ng iba, meron bang forever? Ito forever. Diba? Kumbaga, una-unahan lang yan eh. Kung nauna ka na mag-create ng resume link mo, once you have it, it's already yours. You just need to update the information. And you're not required naman to update it like every day, diba? Or every week. What I do recommend lang is you update it every time you have changes, especially your contact details. Now, why do I say that? Is because once you have created your resume link and maybe you have submitted that to a particular company, and then nag-move forward ka na, nag-apply ka na, may work ka na, happy ka na, di ba? So, normally, you don't update your information, di ba? Kasi happy ka eh, you don't update your resume link. But later on, you might want to be open to opportunities. You never know. Companies might be looking for some people with your qualification. So, you might as well, di ba, update it lang. Diba? Lalo na yung contact details mo para pwede ka nila ma-reach out. Diba? And then yun na. It will open more doors for you. Okay?
Thank you so much, Sir Kim. Thank you. And guys, pag may tanong pa kayo kay Sir Kim, you may email, write your question at info@jobs180.com. All right. Since you don't have any question, thank you so much, Sir Kim, for joining us today, and we'll see you soon as well, po.
Yes, thank you, Ren. Thank you, Ren. Check out the link that's being scrolled here. Look at schools.jobs180.com/SPC. Puntahan niyo yung link na yan. You'll see a lot of companies there, a lot of opportunities. Okay? So, yun lang. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, Sir Kim. Thank you so much. Alrighty. So let's move on na sa ating next guest speaker with the topic answering interview questions. Alright. One of the senior talent acquisition manager in TTEC handling 6 sites at home, Santa Rosa, Lipa, Pioneer, Pasay, and Cainta. She has 10 years solid experience in recruitment and onboarding handle programs from telco, hotel reservations, healthcare, financial, and technology accounts. The Senior Talent Acquisition Manager from TTEC, Ms. Abigail Cinco Flores. Hi, ma'am. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, Miss Abby, loud and clear po, and you may share your screen na rin po.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen now.
Yes, ma'am. Since it's up, I'll be right back after 20 minutes for the Q&A. All right. Good luck po, ma'am.
Okay, so hello everyone. Again, my name is Abby. So I'm presenting with you the deck from TTEC. So here's our agenda. So you'll get to know the guest speaker, which is me. So later on, I'll share something about myself. What's the goal of this talk? And then followed by importance of job interview. Next would be preparing before the job interview. Examples of not so common interview questions, what are the interview etiquettes, and lastly, opportunities at TTEC. Okay, so I hope all of you are excited. Okay, so first is get to know me and what do I do. So again, my name is Abigail Cinco Flores. You can call me Abby. So I'm one of the senior talent acquisition managers in TTEC. So I've been with the company for 3 years. Actually, this is the second company that I work with after I graduated in college. So like what you can see on your screen, I have 10 years of experience with talent acquisition. I started with TTEC way back 2019 as talent acquisition manager for Lipa and Santa Rosa. And since I was promoted to a senior manager, I now lead six sites. Two of them are from the metro, and then four from the provincial sites. I currently manage around 45 recruiters, so that's actually a lot. Just so you know, the sites that I'm handling. So first is at home. So I'm also handling the hiring for virtual work at home setup. We also have a site in Santa Rosa, Laguna, which is near and accessible in the school. I have one handling Lipa, Batangas, Cainta, Rizal, and then I'm currently handling Pasay site, which is in MOA, and then Pioneer, which is in Mandaluyong. So there's actually a lot. Just to share something about me that's outside work. So I'm a kind of person who likes to travel around the Philippines. So before pandemic, I make sure that I get to travel at least two provinces in the Philippines and 1 to 2 countries abroad. But that had to stop because of the pandemic, and because of that, I became a certified homebody. But it's okay because I learned that I like I have a special spot in my heart for my pets. So starting pandemic, I recently adopted stray cats and dogs, and currently I have seven. So just so you know, yeah, I'm a Libra. I'm married. I'm 30 years old, and I still watch anime. So that's a lot. Yeah. And just to share, guys, just like you before, I also attended career talks. I remember way back in college, that was actually the reason why I landed the job in the BPO industry. Because there were speakers from different companies, especially in the BPO. They are well dressed, they are articulate, and they are very inspiring. That's why I was so invested, and I really want to work in a BPO company before. That was way back 10, 11 years ago. Okay, so in terms of experience, I can guarantee you that I can share a lot, especially in terms of interviewing. What are the pro tips that we have? What does a hiring manager or recruiter is looking for in a candidate? How to answer questions. We'll share that later. Okay. So the goal of this talk is to create a good impression on your job interview, mastering complex interview questions, gain insights from professionals on the qualities that employers are looking for, and become a successful job hunter. Okay, so for this one, in what would be the importance of job interview? So in TTEC, our mission is to be best in class in attracting the most qualified candidates and delivering exceptional experience to our candidates and TTEC members. So how do we do that? of course, we try to collaborate with our stakeholders and making sure that we are equipped with what's needed in the market. Right now in TTEC, we have a smart selection process and gamified assessment. So in TTEC, you don't really need to go to our certain sites to apply to pass your resume. I saw earlier that you can just share a link from Jobs 180, and then the recruiter can now see your resume. I mean, you can share that when you apply online, because we have a lot of options to apply online. Even our assessments, you can take it online. You can take it everywhere you are, as long as you have your phone with you, and a stable internet connection. You can complete the recruitment process. So isn't that amazing? Anyway, going back to this slide, so I have Cassie. Actually, Cassie is one of our recruiters. I'm just sharing her picture. So, what do we really look for in the candidate? So, first is we are evaluating experience. We want to make sure that what's indicated on your resume is accurate, because we are conducting background checks. We are verifying, even if it's not related to the job that you're applying for. You have to indicate your work experience, at least the most recent ones, and make sure that the dates are accurate, because we need that. And even if you think that it's not relevant, there are probably some competencies and experiences you had experienced before, that could that you could encounter once you work in the company that you're applying for. So yeah, that's the first one. Second is, of course, we want to make sure that we are aligned with the company's goal and culture. So this is important, especially for the younger generation right now. You want to work in a company where you feel that you belong and you fit in, and you can blend in with the culture of the company. Great. Next is assess candidate skills, competencies, and commitment. So this is very important. I mean, there are a lot of jobs right now, but I believe probably some of you are wondering why there are a lot of jobs, there are a lot of job seekers, but those vacancies are still open. So what we are noticing right now is because there's actually sometimes a mismatch when it comes to the skills of the applicant who's applying in their desired job. So we have to, as recruiters, we really have to check the skills, if we have the minimum skills requirement, the competencies, of course, because that is needed to any jobs, and of course, commitment. So we want to make sure that the candidates that we endorse stay with the company, and they'll become one of the leaders, future leaders of the company. So we just don't want you to stay there. We want to make sure that the applicants that we are hiring for are someone who will become future leaders someday. So there. Next is discover the most qualified candidates. Of course, again, there are a lot of candidates, and we want to make sure that we'll be able to handpick or get the right candidates for the vacancies that we have. Okay, there. So how do we prepare for a job interview? So I have here Dan. He's also one of our recruiters. But yeah, so just to share a story, I remember back then when I was applying, and like what I mentioned earlier, I attended several career talks like you guys. Before, well, I noticed that there are a lot of speakers who are inviting us to apply in their job. But I felt that during that time, I was not really so ready, because I tend to what do you call this? There were instances before that I got rejected because I was not ready, or I didn't really clearly read the job description. I didn't know that I during that time I won't be able to. I didn't meet the minimum requirements. So it's very important that when we go to or when we apply to certain jobs, we really research. Okay, so when I started, I applied for different BPO companies. So actually, it took me like 5 to 8 times before I landed the job. But what I did is I made sure that I'll be come what I did before is I really listed down all the competencies, the skills, the achievements that I had before in college or when I was in the internship program, and then applied what I've learned in every interview, and I became successful. So these are the sample. Sorry, let me just go back. Okay. So when you apply for a job, it's important that you know the company. So first, you have to search what's TTEC. Um, what does the company do? What's the culture of the company? What's the values and mission of the company? Do you see yourself working in that company? So we really have to research that. And I encounter a lot of candidates who don't really search about the company. Well, sometimes it's okay, but it's really different if you research about the company that you're applying for. It's important because you'll be able to stay if you know the values and culture of the company. Okay. So next is, of course, you have to know the role. Like, is BPO a call center? What does a CSR do? So we have to know if we have to know the job that you're applying for. We have to read the job descriptions. Are you going to sell? Are you going to troubleshoot? Do you have the skills to troubleshoot? Do you have any idea how selling works? Can you meet your targets? So we have to research, and if you don't have that skills, that's actually okay, but you have to prepare yourself, you have to improve yourself. So when you apply, you have an idea about those things on the job description. Okay, so of course, I remember back then I kept on searching in Google what are the questions. I actually tried to face the mirror and then check how I responded in these certain questions. Like what I mentioned earlier, I took down notes, what were my achievements, and check if I can use those responses in these questions that I searched through Google. So it's very important that we search those questions and prepare for that. Next is, do I still need to practice? Yes, of course. Sometimes because it's very convenient right now to apply in a BPO, like what I shared earlier, you can apply anywhere. You can apply even if at your home, in the mall, as long as you know you have a stable internet connection and you have your gadgets with you. Even if it's convenient, we really need to make sure that we practice. We have to be professional at all times, especially if we're looking for a job. So, like what I did before, I face the mirror, I practice, I check how I responded to to the recruiters rather, and check if I look confident when I talk to them. And then ask yourself if you are well prepared. So I believe you will be more confident if you research all these questions, you prepared how to respond, you have list of questions, and you already know what to answer. So if you already have all those checklists, you can say that you're prepared and you are more confident than other candidates. So there's a bigger chance that you'll be able to land the job. Okay. And next is nailing not so common interview questions. So, before I share those questions with you, I want to give you some pro tip. So, in the interview, in any interview, you will encounter these questions, and you need to know these types of questions. So, first is open ended and close ended questions. Next is hypothetical questions. And then next is behavioral or situational based questions. Okay. So what's open-ended questions? So these are the questions that cannot be answered by yes or no, and it requires you to elaborate your answer. I'm talking about open-ended questions. On the contrary, close-ended question is answerable by simple yes or no. So these are the sample questions. Like for open-ended question, one example here is tell me about yourself, or why did you apply in this company? What are your strengths? So with those questions, of course, it cannot be answered by yes or no. It's kind of weird if you will say, "Tell me about your job," and you will say yes, right? So of course, you need to share your background. You need to elaborate your responses so the recruiter would understand, and make sure that of course your answers are coherent and relevant to the question. Okay. Sample of close-ended question is here. So, are you willing to work on graveyard shift? Of course, you can answer that by yes or no. It depends on you if you want to expound, but the gist here is that it can be answered by yes or no. Or probably we can say, can you work on site? Are you willing to work on site? Do you have a stable internet connection? So, those questions are close-ended questions. And the tip to answer this one is you have to be confident. Again, you need to know the job description because there are questions like what are your strengths. Of course, you need to know your strengths and check if you have the strengths needed for the job. Um, we really need to go in depth, but we need to make sure that we keep our answers concise and, of course, understandable by the recruiters. Next is hypothetical questions. So this interview questions put you in an imaginary situation and ask how you'd react. It tests your ability to think and solve. So basically, these are the questions that you don't really have an experience yet to it. Like, hold on. Okay, so these are the sorry for that. So these are the questions answerable. Experience that you really haven't experienced before. So you will, for example, how would you describe the role of a call center representative? For example, you don't have any job yet. You don't have any experience in a call center industry yet, and the recruiter asks you this question to know if you have any idea about the job or what will you do if you will be in this situation. You will also encounter these questions like I call these beauty queen questions. Like how would you describe red or blue to someone who's visually impaired? Sometimes there are questions in in some BPO companies where they ask those. What would you do if you won the lottery? So a tip to answer this one is there's actually no right or wrong answer, especially for this last two questions. But we need to make sure that we articulate our responses because what we are gauging here is your ability to think and if you'll be able to respond well in these questions. Next would be behavioral questions. So behavioral or situational questions. So these are designed to learn how you would respond to a specific workplace situation and how you solve problems to achieve a successful outcome. So there's actually a difference with a hypothetical question because in hypothetical question, you will be in this situation that you haven't really experienced, or sometimes the recruiter is just wanting to know your opinion in certain topic. But for behavioral questions, it's really related to the job that you're applying for. Mostly, they will ask you about your previous experiences, if you encountered this before. I'll give you some examples. So samples of behavioral question, situational question, is more specific. First one is, tell me about the time when your supervisor was rude to you. How did you handle the situation? Next is describe a time when you had to adjust quickly to a certain change at work or at school. So if you'll notice, there are differences. There's actually big difference compared to hypothetical question, open-ended, and behavioral question. So I'll also give you tip on how to answer these questions. And for me, the most difficult would be answering behavioral questions, especially if you're not prepared and you don't really took note of the accomplishments and skills that you did before. It will be difficult for you to answer these questions. So, in order for you to answer these successfully, you need to use STAR method. So, STAR method stands for situation, task, action, and result. So, for example, I'll give you samples later on, but basically, in order for you to ace this, you have to list down all your accomplishments and the actions you made to achieve it. Okay. So, I'll focus on the behavioral and situational questions. So I shared earlier what is the STAR method, and now I have two sample questions here. First question. So tell me about the time when you had to persuade a group of people to agree with your point of view. So what was your approach? It's actually a very difficult question to ask, especially for those who don't have any, I mean, especially for those freshers or fresh grads, because it's hard to think if you really persuaded someone or probably a group of people to agree with you, right? So sometimes it can put us on the spot. But if you're well prepared, you'll be able to answer it. So situation, again, the STAR method, we need to start with a situation or task. So for example, in college, I believe you have group projects. So even if you're not a leader, there are times that you suggest a topic like this is what I want us to do. This is for example, you wanna propose a certain topic in a project. So you have to tell that that's the situation. You can answer it by there was a time when I proposed to sell these products instead of doing another task or another project. So you already have your situation there. Next is you have to specify your action. So your action should be at least 3 to 4 actions. What you did in the past, not your team. It should be you. What you did on the past. So you have to answer. You have to use I instead of we, and we need to make sure that the actions that you did are relevant to the situation. So for example, our sample earlier is you propose to let's say sell candies to the kids. Let's say it's a sample activity. And then what were your actions? So how did you convince your group mates that that's what you want to do in an extracurricular activity? So we can probably say that I created a proposal. I showed them what would be the outcome if you will push for this project. I actually prepare what are the materials that we're going to use, and based on my opinion, it's more cost efficient than selling other products in that certain event. So I already gave you 3 actions, so that's already like solid answer. And then lastly, the result or the outcome, like that's the time that you will say. So because of doing those things, we were able to we were able to sell around let's say 5,000 or so that's too much. So we can say that as a result, we were able to sell a total of 200 candies, and we were able to get a fund for our next project, something like that. So I hope you were able to understand how to answer behavioral question. If you need more example, I actually have one. So next question here is share a time when you encountered a complex problem at work. How did you resolve the problem? So let's say it's about work, but I think it's more relatable if it's at school. So again, we need to use the STAR method. We need to share what's the specific situation or task. So now what I'm just thinking of a sample. It's been more than 10 years since I studied. So probably I can share something that's work related. Yeah. Sorry for that. I'll just probably share something that's related to school, so it's more relatable. So for example, there was a problem with the um hmm, there was a problem with a certain project. So we have to specify what project is that. So for example, we need to pass our thesis, but you notice that the one who's handling that um, or the one who has that project is not yet available, or is not yet it's not that person is not yet at school. So that of course that's a complex problem, because let's say there's a deadline and you need to submit that today. So what were the actions? So you have to list down what are the actions that you did. So sample would be I what you did is you stayed calm and then thought about the backups, if we have like a backup file, and then printed it immediately, talked to my professor to give me a deadline or something, and then I tried to call that person who handles the project, to check what happened. And then let's say something, let's say it's really inevitable, and we can and that person cannot really show up. So for example, you just reprinted it, you just prepared it, and then ask your professor for additional deadline, and at the end, your professor gave you a deadline, and then you were able to pass your projects or something like that. I mean, it's very important that we really listed down all the things that we did in the past, so we can answer this situational or behavioral questions. Especially these questions will definitely show up during interview in the BPO setting. Okay, so I hope you learned something from me, and we can go to the next slide, which is the interview etiquette. So these are the samples. There's actually more, but the gist really is you have to be professional, and you have to respect your recruiter's time. Don't be afraid to build rapport with your recruiter. I mean, those are still people. I mean, they have story outside work, so don't be so intimidated. I know it's difficult, but if you think that your recruiter is just your friend, you'll be able to talk to them more. You'll be able to express yourself better, and there's a bigger chance that you'll ace the job. So some of the samples here are, of course, you have to sit up straight with your shoulders back to display confidence. Sometimes you really have to fake it, even if you're not confident. Sometimes, yeah, you have to show that you're confident, and then it will be better. Avoid interrupting your interviewer when you have a question or need clarification. Actually, for this one, it's okay. Your recruiter would usually give you time at the end to ask questions. So if you have questions, the recruiter will appreciate if you ask them after or at the end of the interview. It will show that you're interested about the job and you want to know more about the job. So do not look at your watch during the interview. Well, that's one. It really depends on the recruiter, because in my time, I don't really mind that. But you can probably, if you think that your recruiter was annoyed with what you did, you can just explain why. Let's say you had to check your watch. Probably someone is waiting for you outside or something like that. You can just explain or share that with your recruiter, so he or she can understand. Next is maintain a good eye contact and keep a friendly expression on your face. So eye contact is very important. To be honest with you, this is one of my weaknesses. It's hard for me to look at someone's eye, but like what I mentioned earlier, there are times that we really need to try it first, fake it till we make it. And then, yeah, keep a friendly expression on your face. That's very important. Even if your recruiter, or even if the one who's doing the interview doesn't smile, let's smile a little bit. It will help you relax as well. And then next is answer the questions honestly. This is very important. We have to be honest. Most of the BPO companies have background checks, and there's a way for us to know if you're not um I mean, if you're not speaking honestly about your background, about what you're saying, we know that we have this gut, not only gut feeling, but we can ask different sets of questions, and then from there we'll know if you're saying if you're saying something true or not. Next is don't be shy and try to build rapport with your interviewer, like what I mentioned earlier. Okay, so don't forget these tips. Okay, so next slide is about the opportunities, benefits, and training at TTEC. So I'm currently handling 6 sites, but all in all, we have 14 sites in the Philippines. We also have sites in Australia, in different parts, India, and different parts of the globe. So we have more than 10,000 hiring, and once you get hired, there will be free courses available for learning for you. So that's around 10,000 free courses. We also have mentorship programs, because we're not only hiring for agent role, but we also have vacancies for, let's say, talent acquisition, IT department. There's actually a lot. So it's not only limited to customer service, the usual customer service, but the most in demand would be customer service, technical support, sales, and you will definitely get a lot of skills there as well. Next is we have our HMO coverage for the employee independence. So in TTEC, we have a very competitive HMO coverage for you and your family. We also have educational assistance program. So, for example, you just graduated and then you landed a job in TTEC. You were able to stay. You think that you can still manage studying while working. So you can do that. You can pursue masters, and we will provide you the educational assistance program. We also have employee counseling program. So mental health is very important. So we have that in TTEC. You can consult legal, not only legal, but also if you need counseling for your mental health or something. So we have that in TTEC. So for you to also know all our jobs, because like what I mentioned earlier, we're not only hiring for agent roles. We also have vacancies for other jobs. So you can go to ttechjobs.com. Okay. So if you're interested to make it convenient for you, you can also go directly to this link, which I'm sharing on my screen. Okay, so that's actually the end of my slide. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miss Abby. Thank you so much for the tips you've shared to us on how to answer the interview questions. Okay, so to everyone, if you have question, you may post it now to the comment section. So Miss Abby will answer your question. All right. Okay, mahiya. If you have questions, this is the right time. All right, to ask. Okay, thank you so much, Miss Abby. And here are the offline questions, po. How do you put yourself up when you suddenly lost of words or suddenly experience the very familiar word mental block when you are talking in front of the interviewer?
Actually, it's very common, and I've been, like what I mentioned, I've been in the recruitment industry for, I mean, recruitment department for 10 years, and I encountered a lot. I think we just need to be honest about it. Just tell your recruiter that this is what I'm experiencing right now. If you can just give me like a minute or two to freshen up, I'll be able to go back and answer those questions better.
Thank you so much, Miss Abby. All right. Next question po. For fresh graduate, how can you stand out among the participants na may mga work experience during interview?
Actually, in my experience, I like interviewing fresh grads because they share a lot about themselves. And what's good about fresh grad is that I'm just thinking of the right term, but they're like a sponge. So in terms of learning, they don't have any biased opinion about the job itself yet. So we are hiring them because we like to hire them because it's easy for them to learn the product. When you share it with them, they easily learn it. And then those who were experienced in the job. So yeah, they can adapt quickly. They can adapt easily as long as they're committed. So that's why it's very important, and we really like hiring candidates who don't have any experience because of the because it's easier for them to learn. They don't need to unlearn what I mean. For those who have experience, kasi they have to unlearn certain product knowledge. And sometimes they still apply the things that they've learned before, even if it's not applicable to the current job. We don't encounter that with fresh grads.
Yes, that's right, ma'am. Thank you so much, Miss Abby. And the last question po, for those students who are willing to send their applications with TTEC, what are the other expectations they can get from your company once they get hired po?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yes, ma'am. For those students who are willing to apply with TTEC po, what are the other expectations they can get from your company once they get hired, ma'am?
Other expectations, well, of course, in terms of pay, we have competitive pay package. We also have tenure-based allowance if they were able to stay with the company for let's say 6 months, 12 months to 18 months. They will get more allowances. We have in terms of leadership, I'm very confident with the leaders that we have in TTEC, even in operation. So, career, as long as you are motivated and you want to be promoted, there are a lot of people who can help you. So, like I mentioned, we're not only hiring for agents, but we want to make sure that the candidates that we hire or the employees that we have will be promoted as well to and they will become future leaders.
That's right. Thank you so much, Miss Abby, for answering all of the questions that we have right now. And guys, if you have more questions, you may send it. All right. Sa ating comment section, right, na para may sundan natin kay Miss Abby. All right. Thank you so much, Miss Abby, for sharing your expertise with us and for joining us today. We will see you soon sa ating next set of webinars. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
And
much.
bye, ma'am. And for more career opportunities with TTACs, you may visit www.jobs180.com/TTACjobs. All right, let's move on to our third speaker with the topic maximizing the best of both worlds, challenges and expectations of working in a hybrid setup. Melissa started her career as an ESL teacher last 2007. She was also a preschool teacher in Singapore for 7 years and earned her early childhood development diploma there. Okay, with her exemplary skills, Melissa joined the VXI family and started her journey as a BPO trainer last 2021. The talent acquisition trainer from VXI, Miss Maria Melissa Salas Alegado. Good morning, ma'am.
Good
Mel.
morning. I'm so happy to be back here.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
one of your regulars. Good morning to you.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. Since your screen is up, I'll leave it to you, and we'll be right back after 20 minutes for Q&A. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Miss. Good morning to all our students and faculty from San Pedro colleges. It's very nice to be here again, as always. Every time I am here in this program, there's always so much to share, and hopefully, we will learn from each other today. So, for today's topic, I will be sharing with you this very important idea or this very important lesson that we can learn from, which is entitled Maximizing the Best of Both Worlds, right? So, challenges and expectations working in a hybrid setup. Now, a lot of us, for example, students here in the room right now, we must have heard of the word hybrid setup, but not a lot of us really understand the meaning, right? Maybe it talks about biology, maybe it talks about literature or whatnot. But what is it exactly in the field of work that we have? Let's turn to the next page for the meaning and definition. Thank you very much. So, hybrid is a kind of work that is a flexible model to support a blend in office and at home setup. Okay, it's also a very good opportunity for the go workers, right? It offers employees the autonomy to choose to work wherever and however they want it. Okay, but don't forget the word productivity, right? So, meaning to say, a hybrid setup, well, it has taken a toll on all of us since the pandemic. And that's when a lot of companies, especially to be more specific, the BPO industries, have ventured on the hybrid setup. This is because they would like to allow employees to still make money even at the comforts of their homes, right? This trend actually started in the early 2000s when the internet became good enough, okay? And it's rather became reliable to use for home tasks, okay? The work desk could be anywhere as long as there is an electrical socket and there is a good internet connection. That's for hybrid setup, guys. Now, we would like to know what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages of working in the hybrid setup. Let's move to the next page, please. Yes, the situation. So, since this has started and it's became rather very common among the industries, the employees, the situation that we have now is that the employees are returning to the offices in droves, right? Because it's hybrid. So, those people that used to work at home are now going back to the offices. While there are still some workers or employees that are still confined to the comforts of their homes because the tasks allow them to, and it's really okay for them to be working from home, right? The hybrid work arrangements are quickly becoming the new normal. And like I mentioned, since the pandemic, this became the situation very common among the industries, right? Now, those who are working from far away places, for example, or remote employees, are also given the privilege and the opportunity to enjoy the hybrid setup. At the same time, another situation would be the employers are scrambling. They would like to determine how do we make the hybrid work so that it becomes engaging and productive as possible. Because let's face it, if it's a hybrid setup, say you are tasked or you are allowed to work at home today, right? There are no eyes that can see you and that can monitor your productivity. It's just really yourself. Or the reports that we do, the end of day reports that we submit our leaders, right? So that's one of our parameters. That's one of the gauge whether we are performing or we are doing something. It's for a hybrid. Trying to craft an effective hybrid strategy. Okay. Work environment and culture begins with leaning into what's working and what's not working. And also with the hybrid setup, we have been trying to adjust into adapting the lessons that we are learning. So I'm sure you have friends, you have family members who are doing the hybrid setup now. One of the most common example would be the virtual assistant jobs that we have nowadays. If you're working on a graveyard shift, it serves you best because you can just be home and still make money, right? Okay, let's turn to the next page. Thank you. Challenges. Okay, what is it for us, Mel, if we were to work in a hybrid setup? Right. So, as I mentioned, it's a combination of both. There are days when you go to the office to work, and there are days when you are just at the comforts of your home. So, we have here some challenges in the hybrid setup based on research, okay, based on studies conducted. So, number one, we have less access to work resources and equipment. This depends. Okay, some companies actually provide enough equipment for the employees, right, for consumption or for use. So, but otherwise, there will be limitations because you cannot just simply decide on your own to say, I will be working from home if you do not have the equipment. Okay, let me just pull up my file so I can see better also. Yes. And we have impaired working relationship with coworkers. Well, this is one of the saddest thing, I guess. Like in my case, because I work as a trainer, we have that. Well, I consider it a privilege to be working from the comforts of our home. Like today, I'm conducting this training from the house because I feel like it's very convenient. It's a lot quieter here where I am right now, but if it happens every day too, it can get lonely, it can get boring because then you won't have that engagement with your colleagues. And this is something that I really enjoy a lot working at the site, right? So at least my relationship with them is not impaired. It's a combination of balance and challenges. But again, it's fun because you get the time to work on your own or work by yourself, and you also have this opportunity to mingle with them or engage with them when you're working at the site. There is a difficulty in coordinating with the work schedules, tasks, and timelines. So sometimes it can be a problem. It's the communication barrier, for instance. The process is being disrupted. Why is that? If there are internet problems, you are not able to collaborate with your colleagues, you are not able to convey information, or you're not able to share announcements or important stuff with them. So sometimes Work is affected. Some of the tasks are put on hold. Not a very good news, right? It reduces cross-functional communication and collaboration, so that is in line with what I mentioned every day. And when you are in a hybrid setup, say you work at home today, it is very important that you are always in the loop, okay, with announcements, with latest updates from your leaders. It's important that you know all these things. So that is the thing if it's a hybrid all the way. And that's why, again, we go back to the first one, it could impair relationships. So I guess we need to put a balance somewhere. Feel less connected to organizations' culture. Of course, if you're working alone, you miss a lot of opportunities, right? You're forgetting things. It's like you're living on your own, in your own territory, and you're in your own turf, and doesn't sound so fun. So there are a lot of things in the workplace that you are just missing. You don't get to enjoy it. So that's one of the disadvantages among the many things I've discussed today of a hybrid setup. So I guess it's safe to say that we really need to put a work balance or proper balance when it comes to the hybrid setup. Okay, these are for the challenges of the hybrid setup. Now let's move to the expectations, right? Expectations. Thank you very much. So, for the expectations, just as we have the downsides of working in a hybrid setup, of course, we also have good points, right? They say if it's a hybrid setup, there's a balance, okay? Because you get to work on site and you get to stay home, right? For moms like me, for example, there are just situations when we are required to stay home because of the circumstances. Some things are just inevitable. We do not see it coming, and we would require us staying back home, maybe to look after our children or to look after our pets or to wait for some important deliveries at home and stuff like that. So if it's a hybrid setup and we have that opportunity to work at home, it could improve the work life balance. Okay? We have more efficient use of our time. We can control our working hours. Let's be very honest, in a hybrid setup, we can be facing our computers, we can be doing our reports while spinning the washer, right? Or doing our laundry or preparing our meals for the day. Right. Aside from that, we can freely choose the work location. If, let's say, we need to be on mobile and we need to travel, if we can just be very productive, we can still complete our task there. It can burn out mitigation or mitigation burnt out. So we can still relax while making our time productive and completing our tasks. And of course, I believe in higher productivity. Um, I have experienced working at home many times since the pandemic, and I honestly believe that it's how you manage it. Like I said, you can multitask and still complete your tasks for the day, and even sometimes do other things for the coming days, right? Another thing, employees believe their current hybrid arrangements improve their personal well being and productivity at home, which is very much related to the first one that we have discussed today. Okay, personal well being, we get to rest, we get to not slack, but rest for a little bit. Uh, Close our eyes, and when there's too much exposure to the devices, to the gadgets, to the equipment, we can just chill out for a while and give ourselves some rest, and then go back to our jobs again. Hybrid work provides the flexibility for employees to work in ways that are most effective for them. Of course, guys, for our graduating students here in the room, for our faculty, I'm sure you believe that we have different ways of doing things, right? Some are effective doing it this way, some are effective at doing things the other way. So, whatever works for us, if it's a hybrid, we are in charge of our time, right? And again, I go back to being productive. For as long as we are productive, it's not really the amount of time we invest in the working hours, but on the tasks that we are able to complete during the day. Now, hybrid individual contributors, managers, and senior leaders closely agree on both the top advantages and disadvantages of hybrid work, signifying more common ground in organizations than might be expected. So it's nice that we have this type of working setup nowadays, right? Although, unfortunately, this does not apply to all types of jobs, but we have companies now that are actually investing on this type of setup. Okay, yes. So let's move to the next one. What about our leaders? What do you think can they do next for us employees? Well, perhaps if we are future leaders or if we are leaders now, we can start by asking our team members questions like, what are the work that you can do that you think you can do independently or that you think can be done independently? Maybe we can start considering all those things, right? Because I believe there are just some tasks that need collaboration with our colleagues, and there would be limitations if we are in a hybrid setup. So it might require us to be on site so that we become more effective in conducting our tasks, in the facilitation of our tasks. Describe the work you do that is better when we work together. Right. Okay. So, what are the things that we think we can work better when we do it together? They say two heads are better than one. So, maybe some of the jobs are applicable for this one. Describe the times when our team works best with other teams. Right? I honestly believe that no man is an island, even when it comes to tasks and homeworks at the office. So there will be times and days in our lives where we would be needing the help of our colleagues. Like right now, guys, you don't know. As I'm conducting this session, I have my colleagues surrounding me and making sure that we are able to pull through with this talk successfully today. Okay. And of course, describe the times when you feel connected to your team's culture. This is also very important. Working is just making money. Working should also be fun. And working should also be ensuring that you have a very good relationship with your teammates. How do we build some predictability in our work schedules so in person time is maximized? So when you say in person, that's face to face work. Okay, right? We have to be able to predict, right, the time, the tasks that we need to complete, and that we need to accomplish during the day. And leaders should also or might want to consider questions like, describe the times when we have created exceptional value for our customers. Well, VXI is very much customer based centered. Okay, this is also a BPO industry, and we value our customers very much, right? So, this is one of the most important things that we have to consider as leaders as well. Yes. And to close my talk for this morning, let me just share with you a very important reminder from our friend Jim. Okay, Jim says, work is not a place, it's what you accomplish together. So, whether we are in a hybrid setup, folks, or whether we are working at the site, it's what we do together. Okay, if it's a hybrid setup, it doesn't matter if you're doing things alone, you can still collaborate and communicate with your teammates. It's virtual. Okay, so you can complete and accomplish your tasks successfully together. Or if you're at the site, it's much fun, it's much better because then it's an in person interaction. There is a physical engagement, it's more fun, and you would definitely learn from each other. Okay, and speaking of learning from each other, yes, we from the VXI family, our hiring never stops. So we have our positions available from CSR positions all the way up. You may want to visit the website, which is flashed on our screen right now. And San Pedro College is in NCR, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So we have also opportunities for walk in applicants. You can visit our recruitment offices in Makati, Panorama QC, and Bridgetown. So I hope This will open opportunities for you, okay, to try and reconsider the VXI family. Hiring never stops. We're always open for anybody who is keen to apply for any position here with us. And with that, let me just say thank you very much again, students, folks, faculty of San Pedro Colleges. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Mel, for your presentation. And everyone, if you have a question with Miss Mel and the topic, please, you may post it now sa ating comment section. Alright. Okay, offline question po tayo, Miss Mel. First question, does hybrid work setup affects employees' productivity?
Okay, like I mentioned earlier, it actually depends. Now, for a hybrid setup, leaders will not just let you be. Of course, there would be tasks given to all of us to accomplish during the day. So, in return, because the company trusted you enough with the task that you need to comply with at the end of the day, you have to really ensure that it doesn't affect the productivity, right? You have no leaders at home watching you literally. So you make sure that you're able to provide quality services to your leaders and to the company. Well, I believe, Miss, it will affect productivity if it's your choice to not work productively, right? So it's always up
That's
to
right.
us, right? We hold the time, we take ownership of our tasks, so we do not want to, break the trust of our leaders.
Thank you so much, Miss Mel. How
Yes.
about how can we foster trust among our teammates who seldom see one another in person?
Trust is really earned, I believe. So you need to really prove that you are worth that trust of your colleagues, your teammates.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be seen in your actions, in your performance. You do not just tell them to trust you because you'll do things according to the requirements that are given. You need to show. Okay, our leader would always say, um, I don't care about your labor. Show me the baby. Okay, that's what our leader Carlo would always tell us. So we do not want to keep complaining about the challenges in the tasks. We need to provide results, and that's the most significant thing, in especially in a hybrid setup.
Yes, ma'am. That's right po.
Yes,
Thank you so much. Ma'am, last question na lang po. How can you
sure.
make difference po? How can you make difference working in a hybrid setup?
How do you make a difference in a hybrid setup? Well, just like what you do when you're working at the site,
Mm-hmm.
maintain your professionalism. It shouldn't really change you. It should, in fact, encourage you to do more and to perform better since you are aware that, hey, my leader is not here. She won't be walking behind me checking what I'm doing on my laptop, right? So just make sure you come up with great results at the end of the day because there's no easy way for them to gauge our performance but by showing them what we have accomplished during the day, and that is the tasks that we have completed.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Miss Mel.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you so much, Miss Mel, for joining us today. And also, if you have question, post lang po natin sa ating comment section. And
Yes.
thank you for your time, Miss Mel, once again. And we are
Thank
looking
you.
forward to have you soon sa ating next set of webinars. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Miss
All right.
Maria.
Thank you so much, Ms. Mel. All right, for more career opportunities with VXI, don't forget to visit www.jobs180.com/VXI. Thank you so much. All right, we're now down to our last guest speaker, a BS Psychology graduate in Our Lady of Fatima University. He has been working in HR recruitment field for almost 9 years. He used to work in an international manpower agency handling end-to-end recruitment process for healthcare and other non-skilled workers to be deployed across Asia and European countries. He also worked as an HR admin and recruitment officer in a real estate company handling end-to-end recruitment process for sales and marketing positions. At present, he is a talent acquisition specialist and Makati Medical Center handling the recruitment process for nurses, corporate, and other allied medical positions. The HR Talent Acquisition Specialist from Makati Medical Center, Mr. Ronald Alan Abril. Hi, sir. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me? Is it clear?
Yes, Sir Ron. Ayan. Yes, po. You may share your screen na po, Sir Ron.
Okay, for a while.
Yes, sure.
Is it up already?
It's still loading, sir. Yes, sir. It's up na. Kasi, sir, nawawala po kayo sa camera po.
Up for a while.
Yung inyong ano po. Ayan. You may full screen na po, sir. Thank you so much. Ayan. You may share it again po, sir. Ayan. And then, share screen na po kayo, sir.
Ayan. Is it up already? Is it in full screen na?
Yes, sir. Since your screen is up, I'll be right back after 20 minutes for the Q&A. Good luck, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. So thank you for that wonderful introduction. So once again, my name is Ron. I'm from Talent Acquisition of Makati Medical Center. Okay, so for this morning, I'll be sharing you some top skills employers look for when they're hiring or looking for an applicant. Okay, so it can help you highlight these skills and tips for making yourself attractive during your interview. So first is communication skills. So when we say communication skills, it pertains to your ability in writing, speaking, listening, and presenting. No, so why is it important? So most of the companies kasi right now is looking for a good communication skills when it comes to hiring people. So these are the basic skills that they are looking, especially if you're applying for a BPO company. No, so it's important that you are capable of expressing your thoughts clearly, or in a good way. No? So employers desires applicants who can successfully interpret what is being asked of them as well as effective communication with others. And so next one is leadership skills. So when we say leadership skills, these are one of the soft skills that many employers look for in candidates, and it can be helpful at all levels of your career. So for you to show your leadership skills, it doesn't mean that you need to become a manager or be in higher position. No, so as a newbie or a fresh graduate, no, what you can say during your interview or how you can show your leadership skills is by being accountable on the given task, that you are capable on working independently with minimal supervision, and also you're willing to extend help and support the other members of the team, no, in terms of doing difficult tasks. No, so that's how you can show your leadership skills. So next, teamwork skills. So working well with clients, colleagues, manager, and other people in your workplace. So basically, this is how you work collaboratively or harmoniously with the people around you or your colleagues. No, so most of the employers are looking for people who are capable of working and maintaining good relationships with their coworkers and managers. No, so like what I've said, it's how good you are in working or collaboratively sharing the duties and responsibilities within the team. So next, learning or adaptability skills. So basically, it pertains to the skills that enable you to learn new things and adapt to new situations within the workplace. No, so basically, it's how good you are as an employee or as an applicant to easily cope up or adjust to the environment of the company that you are applying. No, so it's important also that you highlight to your interviewer that you are trainable, that you are willing to learn, and open for change when necessary. No, that you are flexible enough to adjust and cope up with their environment. So next is self-management skills. So when we say self-management skills, it pertains to the self-management skills that allow you to manage your time and be productive as possible within the workplace. So basically dito papasok yung time management natin. No, so most of the companies are looking for applicants or people who are capable of using time management. No, so how they maintain their focus despite of different distractions, and they are capable of meeting the deadlines despite of the multiple tasks given to them. So next one is computer or technical skills. So this pertains to the knowledge and ability to use computers and other related technologies. No, so this one is very given naman na, no, since most of us are capable of using gadgets and different computers, no, since we are living in the modern era, no, so most of the jobs requires that candidates can use at least basic applications, no, in computer, especially if you're applying for a corporate job that requires you to use different software applications such as Microsoft, Excel, PowerPoint, and the others. So next one is problem solving skills. So this pertains to the skills refer to the ability to manage challenging situation at work productively and positively. Okay, so most of the applicants or candidates that companies are looking for is those who are capable to identify problems. No, they can brainstorm, analyze, and implement solution. No, so meaning it's how good the people or the candidate in terms of decision making in tough situations. No, that they are capable of thinking new ideas or better way of doing things. And so one of also being a positive attitude is also one of the skills that many companies are looking for. No, so this means being calm and cheerful when things go wrong. No, so as an employee or being into corporate work, no, so most of the time you'll be dealing with different types of stress or problems. No, so it's how you stay calm and see the good in every difficult situation. No? So instead of focusing on the negativity, they want someone who find ways to divert, no, or turn the negativity into opportunities. No, so they want people who are optimistic and goal driven. And then last is strong work ethic. So having a great work ethic ensures you can complete your tasks and manage your work effectively even when no one is regularly checking your progress. No, so basically, a company is looking for an applicant or a people, no, with strong working ethics or values. No, meaning they are trustworthy and they can work with integrity. No, so how honest they are and how they are capable of completing tasks, no, when no one is watching or regularly checking on them. No, so some samples of the work ethic that companies are looking for are integrity, honesty, discipline, responsible, and accountable. So that's it from my end. If you want to join Makati Medical Center in the future, these are the contact details. No, so you may directly email us your resume or through our website and of course through our Jobs 180 account. So it's www.jobs180.com/Makati Medical Center.
Thank you so much, Sir Ron, for your discussion. And guys, if you have question once again, you may post it na sa ating comment section. Thank you so much. Alrighty, Sir Ron, here are the offline questions for you. So, what are the greatest challenges po to achieve good communication?
Siguro one of the greatest challenge kasi minsan
Mm-hmm.
hindi natin kino-comprehend muna ng maigi
Mm-hmm.
what is being really asked, no? So it's better to understand properly or to understand clearly what is being asked before we respond to the specific questions being asked to us. Kasi especially minsan kapag may during interview for example, so minsan hindi naman pala yun yung thought na gustong makuha ng interviewer and yet without being kumbaga hindi ka masyadong nag-isip or sumagot ka kaagad. So, no, so doon pa lang kumbaga hindi mo na nakuha kung ano yung sagot na hinahanap ng
Thank,
interviewer.
thank you so much, Sir Ron. How about ano po? Do you prefer people with good communication skills or over with strong people skills po?
Siguro it depends on the it depends on ayoko nung maging bias, no, but it depends kasi yan
Yes.
kung ano yung requirement, minimum requirement ng position.
Mm-hmm.
No? Pero siguro, um, if I will hire na lang siguro a newbie or someone na wala pang work experience, no. So siguro I will choose yung pagiging strong people, no, kasi minsan it's skills and knowledge can be learned, no, if you are willing, no, to extend or to really learn the job, no. Pero kasi yung pakikisama, no, and important kasi yung good or harmonious relationship with your colleagues.
Yes, Sir Ron, that's right po. Last question po for our fresh graduate na mahiyain, ganun. How to boost their self-confidence po?
Siguro practice lang, no? Kasi
Mm-hmm.
since lahat naman tayo nagdaan sa mga iba't ibang interview, so minsan may mga times na hindi tayo napipili, nawawalan tayo ng self-confidence, no? So one step at a time lang, no? So don't be too hard on yourself, just practice, apply lang ng apply until you get your dream job. And of course, syempre, samahan din nila ng dasal.
Yes, that's the right thing. Prayer first. Pray first. All right.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Sir Ron, for answering all of the questions that we have right now. And yes, thank you for joining us today. We hope and see you soon sa ating next set of our webinars. All right. For more career opportunities with Makati Medical Center, you may visit www.jobs180.com/Makati Medical Center. Okay. All right. So to our audience, thank you for staying and hope you learned and enjoyed the session. If may tanong pa po kayo, you may send us a message sa aming Facebook. It's facebook.com/jobs180 or email us at info@jobs180.com. Okay? And to officially close our program, may we invite Ms. Anadel Clarencia Olivia, the guidance coordinator, for the closing remarks.
To our resource speaker, to our career placement coordinator, Professor Irene G. Mendoza, RPM, to the faculty members, staff, and to our dear third year and fourth year college students, good morning. It gives me great pleasure to address these closing remarks for our webinar entitled Marketing Me Live, hosted by the Career Placement Office of San Pablo Colleges and Jobs180.com. I would like to express our gratitude to our resource speakers for sharing their valuable knowledge, expertise, and insights that would truly help and guide our students in preparing and improving their skills. And with that, we are truly grateful to you. I would also like to acknowledge the efforts made by our Career Placement Coordinator, Professor Irene, Jobs180.com, and its committee in making this webinar possible. More than that, I would like to thank all of you here for making this webinar a success. We hope that the knowledge you have gained during this webinar will be useful in your future endeavor. Once again, thank you and good morning, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ma'am, for closing our event today. And there you have it, guys. We are done with the talk proper and successfully tackled all the topics assigned for today's session. And do not forget to evaluate this event. Evaluation link is flashed on your screen and is also available at the comment section. All right. And please do note that the evaluation will serve as your attendance for today's session. Okay? We would like to thank each one of you guys for staying all throughout the event, and we hope that the webinar helps you be prepared in the world of work. And we would like to thank San Pablo Colleges for collaborating with Jobs 180. We would like to thank also the following sponsors for being our corporate sponsors for this event. And you may check out their page for career opportunities. Just visit www.jobs180.com. All right. Please watch out for the next set of webinars we are going to host for. And please check our Facebook page for the topics that will be discussed. And you are welcome to join in on those sessions too. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. The program has finally concluded. This is your host, Maria Zaleo Mandam. And we will see you soon and have a great morning, everyone. Ingat kayo. Good morning.
I'm so blessed, my Lord, I can see you in all the lovely things so fine and true. I see you in the beauty of the flowers and the rain. I see you between the lines of a sweet refrain. I'm so blessed, my Lord, I can see you. Even when I'm lonely and in pain, I see you in the beauty of the stars at night. I see you in my life, I feel alright. I see you, Lord, in sorrow and in happiness. I see you in the glory of sweet success. I see you, Lord, every hour, every day. I can see you, Lord, whenever I pray. I'm so blessed, my Lord, I can see you in the smile of a baby, sweet and true. I can see you in the eyes of my very best friends. I see you in these bonds, just like your love would never ends. I see you, Lord, in sorrow and in happiness. I see you in the glory of sweet success. I see you, Lord, whenever I pray. I see you, Lord. Hail SPC, hail, time for the wisdom, hail. Gate from arena, country's pride, looking for big heads held high. Bind us together, seeking thy wisdom and thy truth, and purity beyond compare. Simply holds dear,
Jollibee Foods Corporation is one of the largest and fastest growing Asian restaurant companies in the world. Home to formidable brands with Jollibee at the helm. It operates over 5,800 stores spanning 35 countries across Asia, North America, and Europe. From its humble ice cream house beginnings to becoming a dominant industry leader, JFC's business model has sustained profitable growth for 4 decades, evidenced by its steadily increasing net sales, profit, and stock market performance. It is the recipient of numerous international accolades, from Best Employer to Most Outstanding Corporation, to Asia's most admired company. JFC continuously gives back to the communities it operates in through the Jollibee Group Foundation. Its core programs are centered on food security, alleviating hunger so children can continue their schooling, and connecting small farmers to sell their produce to large institutions to uplift their livelihood. Through consistent taste superiority, outstanding value for money, and the highest quality of food, service, and cleanliness, coupled with the talent and commitment of its world-class organization expanding across the globe, JFC delivers on its mission to bring the joy of eating to everyone. Taking it closer to its vision of becoming one of the top 5 restaurant companies in the world. This is Jollibee Foods Corporation.
Hello, I'm Vixie, the automated recruitment assistant of VXI Philippines. Do you want to know how to jumpstart an awesome career? Join VXI and be part of the International ICT Award 2019's Best Employer of the Year finalist, Best Company of the Year, Best Contact Center, Most Innovative Company of the Year for 2 years, Hall of Fame for Best Contact Center and BPO Company of the Year for 2017, 2018, and 2019. We are hiring account representatives for customer service, sales, and technical support. Find us in a site near you. Quezon City, Makati City, Mall of Asia, Pasay, Clark, Pampanga, and Davao City. Enjoy a competitive compensation package and industry best incentives. Apply via Facebook Messenger at VXIPH. Email us at careersph@vxi.com. Text your full name, location, and preferred interview schedule to 0917-777-5555 for Luzon and 0965-932-9745 or 0961-757-8361 for Davao. We can't wait to have you on the team soon. Apply now!